Through doing Eratosthenes' experiment, we are able to calculate the circumference of the Earth. Eratosthenes was the first person to calculate the tilt of the Earth's axis, and was the first person to calculate the circumference of the Earth. This was done through using basic trigonometry, by comparing the length of shadows obtained from two different places hundreds of kilometers away. Eratosthenes discovered that if he could measure the angle of the sun using shadows in two different places, he could use it to work out how many degrees around the curve of the Earth the two places were from each other. Eratosthenes needed two locations hundreds of kilometers apart from each other to do this experiment. His first location was in his hometown of Alexandria, but where was his second location? He had heard that in a place called Syene in Upper Egypt, at noon on the summer solstice, a well was lit all the way to the bottom, meaning that the sun was directly overhead at 90 degrees. During our own experiment, we had to make sure that our locations we were comparing our results with was on the same longitudinal line. This was the same for Eratosthenes, however, instead of knowing for sure, he assumed that both Alexandria and Syene were on the same meridian. He also assumed that the distance between both places was 5,000 stadia, or 800 kilometers. Eratosthenes erected a pole in Alexandria and noticed that it cast a shadow, proving that the sun was not directly overhead, rather it was slightly south. He realized that he could measure the angle of the sun's rays by dividing the length of the shadow by the height of the pole, which gave him an angle of 7.2 degrees. He also knew that the circumference of the Earth was a 360-degree angle, further proving that the Earth was not flat. So divided 360 by 7.2, equaling 50, meaning that the angle of the shadow was 1/50th of the Earth's circumference. Eratosthenes had multiple errors in his working out, however. For example, both Alexandria and Syene were not on the same meridian, and his distance between places was not right either. Without modern technology to help him, however, he was very close to getting the actual circumference of the Earth. Through his working, he equaled the circumference of the Earth to be 250,000 stadia, or 40,000 kilometers. From modern satellite measurements, we can see that the actual circumference is 40,008 kilometers, showing how close he actually was.